Hi friends and welcome. So in this video I'm going to show you how to set up IAR Embedded Workbench IDE for STM32F4 microcontroller. Okay, so first thing I need to do is I need to download the library files for STM32F4 series. So I will write in Google STM32F4 standard peripheral library. So let us go to second link. So in this we have to search our board. So we are going to use F4 series. So here it is. We'll download this file. So let me go down and here I'll get the software. Accept. So here you have to fill a small form. You have to type your name, last name, then your email ID, and the download link will be sent to your email ID. So currently I have downloaded the file. So I'll now write these information. Directly go to the my library folder where I have downloaded the file. So this is the file which I have downloaded. So what you need to do is you need to extract this file and you'll get this. I have already extracted and this is my extracted folder. So here I will find all the files, whichever file I need to create the or set up the IDE. Okay, so here files, all the files are here for IAR, or if you are using Keel, the files are also here for Keel, and if you are using any IDE, all the files you will find in this standard peripheral library folder. So the next thing after downloading the files we need to do is we will create our project folder. Let me name this project as Blinky, and inside this folder we have to create some other folders also to put all the files in a proper manner, because there will be lot of files, and if you put all the files in the same folder it will become clumsy and you will might be not able to find the correct file which you need at the right time. So what you need to do is you need to create some more folders. So let me first create the EVOM folder. Now this is the folder where I will keep my all the workspace and other things, settings files and debug file. The next folder I will create is SimSys, where I will keep standard SimSys library, which is the standard library for ARM microcontrollers. Third one is standard peripherals, where I will keep the standard peripheral libraries like UART library or GPIO library, etc. Next we have to create is next folder I will create is manual config. Here I will keep those files which I need to edit manually, like some of the files which you will get from here you have to edit it manually. So those files I will keep in manual config. The next folder I will create is user folder. User, here I will keep my main files. Like if I'm writing a big project, so I have to create multiple files like main.c, main.h, manual configuration files.h, or whatever files I will create myself, I will keep it in here. One more folder we need to create is inside EVOM, create a settings folder. If you don't want, you do not need to create settings folder, it will be created automatically. Now we'll add the files. We have created the folder. Now we'll add the required files to particular folders. So first we'll add SimSys libraries. So let me go to libraries, SimSys, and here device STM include. So here first thing I have to add is system file. Source template system.c file. We have added .h file. Now we are adding .c file. Then IAR assembler file. So our board is STM32F401. So F40. Now we have to add the core files, SimSys core file, which I think we will find in this. Yeah, so this is the file which is for ARM Cortex M4. So actually in STM32F4 the base processor is ARM Cortex M4. That's why I am adding CM4. That means Cortex M4. But if you suppose using some other microcontroller, you have to add that file particularly. Like if you are using Cortex M3 series microcontroller, you have to add CM3. Okay, so SimSys is completed. Now we have to add a linker file in settings folder. If you want, you can add linker file in here also. So the linker file you will find in the project folder, project, template and debug. So here you will find your linker file, that is STM32F4 access flash.icf. Okay, now manual configuration. Here we will add those files which we need to edit manually. So the first file we will add is STM32F4 config, which is in project folder inside STM peripheral templates. So we will add it here. The next we will add is standard folder for our STM32 board. So let me go inside libraries, SimSys, device, STM, include. So this is the file. Now we will add standard peripherals. So standard peripherals contains the header files for your different peripherals like UART or PWM or. So we need to add one more file, RCC, GPIO and miscellaneous. So these are header files. We also need to include .c files, RCC and GPIO. So miscellaneous is the miscellaneous files which you always need to add. The GPIO is for standard GPIO libraries which you need to control if you want to control your GPIO pins. RCC is the clock control library, which is reset clock control library. It is also very important. And the last thing we need to do is we need to create a main file, that is main.c. So what I will do, I will create a text file. I'll name it main. Then I will remove the extension .txt to C. And we will say yes. So if extension is not there for you can always activate or do it from settings folder that show file name extensions. So if you are using older Windows, you can do it from properties and folder options. Okay, so I think we have added all the files. Also, I will suggest you one more thing, that you create a configuration file for yourself like this, where you can write what are the steps you have taken, what are the files you have added, and what are the settings you did. So that for record, if suppose after 1 month or after 1 year you will try to set up the IDE, you can always use these reference files to see what are the settings you need to do, because it is easy to forget 1 or 2 settings, and then it will become hard to find what are the settings you forgot. Okay, so we have added all the files, whatever files we need right now. Next thing we need to do is we need to create a new project. So go to project and create new project and create an empty project. In previous we have created a main project, but now I am creating empty project because I have done that main project file manually. I'll create empty project. So I will go to in desktop in my Blinky folder, and then I will go to Yvonne, where I will keep my project files and workspace files. So let me call this as Blinky. Okay, so we have created a new project. Now let us save this project environment. workspace. So save workspace. So we'll name it same as we have given it previously. So this is our workspace file, and next time when you want to open your project, you have to click on blinky.eww. Okay, so we have saved this. Let me save it again. Okay, now we will add the files. Whatever files we have added here, we need to add it also in this workspace. So to add those files, what you can do, you can add all the files here directly, like from here, add files, and all the .c and .s files here. But I prefer to create groups and put the files in multiple groups to make it cleaner. So first group I will create simsys. I'll create similar groups as I have created in that folder. Then I will create std peripherals, and one more folder I have to create is user. So I will group my files into three groups. Now I will add those files. Let me add files from particular folders. Yep, so simsys file we need to add .s and .c files. Then in standard peripherals we need to add files from here .c and .c, and in the user folder we will add that main file which we have created manually. Okay, so all the files I have added. Now one more thing we have to do is we have to configure those files, manual configuration files, these two files. We have to configure some part of these files. So first by default these files are read-only files, so we need to remove that read-only tag for this file also, but it is already done, so let us leave this. And now we will open these two files. Okay, so there are two files as you can see. So these two files we have to edit. So the first file that is STM32F4 access.h. In this file what we have to do, we have to uncomment our board series. Like whatever microcontroller series we are using, we have to uncomment it. So that because most of the function use hash defined variable or preprocessor. As you can see, if defined this, if defined this, if defined 40. So you have to define your board or microcontroller. So what we will do, we will uncomment it. Also you can see it here that your board or microcontroller belongs to F401 series. As you can see here, F401RE, the microcontroller we are using. You can use any of the microcontrollers and you have to comment the particular preprocessor. Okay, so in this file we have to do this much only. The next file is the configuration file. Here by default all the libraries, default standard peripheral libraries are included, as you can see. But as we included only 3 libraries, so what we will do, we will uncomment the library in which we do not need. So let me comment the includes which we do not need. Now we will add GPIO, RCC we are using. So what we did here, we have commented all the includes.h, and only we are including those files which we need for our project. So that's it. Let us save and minimize. Okay, so we have done all the things from this folder, whatever we needed to do. Now we have to set the options for Blinky. So you have to go to this your environment, workspace and click on right click options. Now select your board. First thing you need to do, in general options, select device. We are using STM32F4 RE. Okay, so by default actually F4 series contains floating point unit, a separate floating point unit with I think a single precision. So right now we do not need this floating point unit. So what we'll do, we'll keep none. Next thing you have to do is you have to make library full and select use simsys. After this, go to compiler and select C++ inline schematics, and then you have to go preprocessor. Here you have to include all the directories wherever your files exist. Actually IAR doesn't know where to look for files. Like if we are going to give hash include std or something, hash include STM32F4 access.h, so IAR doesn't know where to search for those files. So we have to include those directories here. So what we'll do, we'll include those directories. So first directory is our evom folder, where our main workspace and everything exist. Debug folder, then settings folder. Basically you have to include all the folders inside your project folder, main project folder. So this is our main project folder. Then simsys, then manual configuration, actually this is a one-time process. Once you will get familiar with it, you can do it very fast, or you can use create a template folder which you can copy for your projects directly. So you do not need to create every time these setups. Okay, so now as you can see, we have added all the folders. The only problem here is all the folders are absolute addresses. So if we what will happen, it will go for C users and this folder to search for file. Now if suppose we have to give this folder or project folder to someone else, or we have to move this folder from this desktop, so my IAR does not able to search for this file afterwards, because it will search for that our project folder in the desktop only, but after when we move this folder to somewhere else, it will unable to locate those folders or those files. So what we'll do, we'll give a relative address instead of absolute addresses. To give relative, you have to remove the evom, this line, okay, and put project underscore dir, project directory. Now our project directory is the directory where we have saved our workspace and project folder, which is actually the evom directory. This is our project directory, PORJ underscore dir. So right now we are in evom directory. So what I will do, I will copy this and I'll change everywhere instead of. Also one more thing you have to do is you have to remove this backslash, and instead of backslash you have to put forward slash, because sometimes it gives error with forward backslash. So this is also you have to do. Let me do this for all the folders. Also right now we are in evom folder, that is project directory our, and Blinky is one directory behind this evom folder. Blinky is one address, one is at one previous address. So to go to previous address from your project directory, what you have to do, you have to put slash dot slash. as we usually do in our command prompt, cd dot dot. So dot dot means go one step back or one directory back. So now all folders are linked to that previous directory, that is Blinky. So we'll copy this and till Blinky we'll paste it. So now what happens, it is now currently it is in project directory, then it went to back, then it went to simsys folder. So similarly I will do it for standard peripheral, paste, and user, paste. Also we have to define some preprocessors here. So this we have added included all the directories. Now we have to write here the preprocessors. So you'll get your preprocessor directory from your STM configuration file, this file, stm.h file, STM32F4 access.h file, where we have made some small changes, like we have defined this. So you have to include two things. First thing you will find in the end of this file, and here at line number 11809. So for different series of microcontroller, this line number might be changed, but you will find it somewhere in the end of this file, like 10-15 lines before the end. So add this, use std peripheral driver. Next we have to add from the same file, here is the file, yes, in the top we'll go and we'll add this STM32F4 access. Actually we are telling our IAR Embedded IDE that we are using this series of microcontroller. Okay, so that's it for this C++ compiler. Now we will go to linker. So as you can see, linker is already available here, but we will override this and we'll include our own linker which we have added initially. So go to your project, Yvonne, settings, and yes, .icf file, STM32F4 access/icf. Now again it is taking absolute address, so we will add again and proj. Please note this is proj, not project. I make this mistake multiple of times. Project directory, instead of proj I write project, the whole name. So also we have changed this, instead of backslash we have put /. Next, debugger you have to select. If you want to upload the code directly from IAR, you have to select ST-Link, and in download select verify download, use flash loader. Okay, now next you have to go to ST-Link, and here you have to select SWD, and okay. So we have done all the settings and we have included all the files. Now we'll open our main file and we'll add a main function, because when we compile this project, the IAR IDE will look for a main function. So we will do two things to check whether everything is working fine. We'll include the STM file, STM32F4 access.h, the main library for our STM board, and also we will create a main folder, int main, and we'll return something, return 1. Okay, so we have done all the things needed to create a set up the workbench for development of STM32 board or microcontroller. So let us check whether all things are working fine or not. We'll rebuild. and yes, everything is working fine. As you can see, zero errors and zero warning. So now this IDE setting is completed. Now you can start writing your code from here for your microcontroller, which I will show you in other tutorial how to write code. Also, so till now what we have did, first thing we downloaded the library file. Okay, so we have done these things. We have downloaded the library files, then we have created some folders, which are these folders, and we have added all the files here. After that, we have created the project and saved the workspace. Then we have edited some files in manual configuration, and then in the workspace we have added all the files in a particular group, and then we have changed the options for our project, and then we have edited the main file. So that's it. Now you can start programming from here. And thank you for watching, and please like this video.